Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunme Nitanyena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishram Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadhamayam Dadati Swapidantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitantam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhasya Kripa Sindhu Bhevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namosute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maya ki Jai Shri Prabhupada ki Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande Hare. Okay, so let us start with quick recap of chapter 4. Yes. Stop sharing. Yes. Hare? Why is this not going? Yes. Okay. So in chapter 4, we learned quick recap. Okay, in 5 minutes we are going to recap this so that I will refresh your memory. Yeah, so in chapter 4, what did we learn? We learned about parampara system. So wherein what is Krishna telling? Krishna is telling Arjuna that Arjuna, this transcendental knowledge was always there. It is not new. It came through parampara system. So I gave this knowledge to Vivaswan, and Vivaswan gave it to Manu. Manu gave it to Ishwaku. So evam parampara praptim imam rajasho yo vidhu sakale neha mata yogo nashta parantapa. So over yogo nashto parantapa. So over a period of time, this knowledge got lost. Yeah. And why did this knowledge got lost? Because Dhungi sadhus and all that, they came in and they started misinterpreting the knowledge, and they started giving wrong information about the Vedic scriptures. So Krishna is telling that whenever you take this knowledge, you should take it from authentic parampara system. Yeah. So Krishna has established 4 sampradayas. So you see Brahma, Lakshmi, Shiva and Kumaras. Yeah. And then from this 4 sampradayas, it is coming down in disciplic succession. So one acharya is telling to his disciple, the disciple is telling to his disciple. So by word of mouth, this knowledge is coming down. But however, over a period of time, it got lost. So I am telling you this knowledge again. So now, how do we know that whatever we are learning is authentic? Because Srila Prabhupada is in Brahma Madhav Gaudiya Sampradaya. So if you see here, yeah, Brahma Madhav Gaudiya Sampradaya. So Srila Prabhupada falls into this Sampradaya. So that is why whatever knowledge that we are getting is authentic knowledge. It is pure. It is authoritative knowledge. It is safe to accept. Yeah. Then Arjuna is thinking, why is Krishna telling me this? Because Krishna says that you have 2 qualifications, Arjuna. That is why I am telling you this knowledge. Bhakto si me sakha cheti. You are my bhakta and you are my sakha, because you are my devotee and because you are my friend. That is why I am telling you this knowledge. So that is why for us to understand this knowledge, we have to chant daily and we have to pray to Lord daily. Right? All the New Year resolutions, 6 New Year resolutions that we did, we should ensure that we follow those resolutions. Then you will become a nice devotee and a nice sakha. Yeah. Yeah. Shreyas, I'll take the question. Okay. Yes. Then, yeah. So then whoever thinks that my, skip this, you'll skip this, you'll skip this. Yeah. Then whoever thinks that my body is made up of flesh and bones, that those people will take birth again and again. They will get stuck into this material world. But those who think that, so then those are called Mayavadis. Yeah, Jnanis, what do they think? They think that, Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. We do not want anything. We just want to get merged in the light. So they think Krishna is light, right? So you see bulb and you see light. They don't think Krishna as bulb. They don't see Krishna as sun and sunlight. Yeah, that is another example. So they want to merge in Brahma Jyoti. Yeah, so they will merge. The Jnanis who understand that there is a Supreme Lord and they want to merge in Brahma Jyoti, they will stay in Brahman for some time, but again, they will, after some period of time, they will come back to earth. But there are third type of people who are bhaktas. Those bhaktas who know that my body is not a like material body like all of us, like made up of 5 gross elements. I have a spiritual body and I am the supreme controller. Those who know that, they they become my close associate. They become my close friend. And I take them along with me to my spiritual world, or I take them to different universes and perform my pastimes with them. Yeah. So Mayavadis, Jnanis and Bhaktas. Yeah. Then we also learned that whether all paths lead to same goal. मतलब अगर हमने चेन्नई की ट्रेन पकड़ी तो हम दिल्ली जाएंगे क्या? नहीं जाएंगे, right? So people say that, whatever you do, ultimately you will go to Krishna, but it is not the case. Yeah. Krishna is saying that if you worship me, then only you will come to Goloka. If you do not worship me, you will not come to Goloka. Yeah. In other chapters, he explains that if you worship demigods, you go to the abode of demigods. If you worship, yeah, Shreyas, after this summary, I'll take your question. Yeah. If you worship Pitras, then you'll go to Pitras. Yeah. So he explains in the subsequent chapters. But all paths do not lead to the same goal. If you take a train to Calcutta, it will not, it will not make you reach to Delhi. Yeah. Then what did we learn? So Krishna, so then Arjuna says that Krishna, then everybody should worship you only. Why are people worshipping demigods? So then Krishna says that people are worshipping demigods because उनको quick results चाहिए, उनको फटाफट चाहिए, right? So जैसे we heard the story of Shiva and that Bhasmasur, that he got the benefit, then demigod, that Shiva only landed himself in problem. Brahma, Hiranyakashipu, Brahma landed himself in problem, right? So, and then Krishna had to come, intervene and help the demigod. So he says that आप फटाफट quick benefit के लिए demigods है, लेकिन आपको फायदा नहीं होगा, right? You will not progress. So, and devotees know that Krishna will not give. One second, Anushri, just hold on your question. I will take all your questions. I'll quickly do this recap. Yeah, and people know that if Krishna, you go to Krishna, unless he purifies you, he will not give anything. So he is like a strict father. But whatever you get, it is like that Ayurvedic medicine. जो भी होगा अच्छा होगा, थोड़ा समय लगेगा, लेकिन पक्का ठीक हो जाएगा. Yeah. Okay. Then he says that you created these 4 varnas. So Krishna, you are also Kshatriya. You should also fight. He said, I am not affected by any of those varnas. Even if I am born in a Kshatriya family, even I have been brought up in a Vaishya family with Nanda and Yashoda, still my body is transcendental. I am like a drop of water on the lotus leaf. Yeah. Then what else? Then when we discuss intricacies of karma, we discuss the story of cow. Yeah, that butcher killing the cow, and then eventually everyone takes the next birth, and how he, the cow kills the butcher, right? So that story. So we do not know how karma will act on us. It is because of our past deeds that some things go wrong with us. How should we behave? We should behave. We should behave on our. We should not behave on our own account. We should work on God's account, right? Nishkama karma yoga we saw. Then yes, this is sacrifice. He tells the importance of sacrifice also. He says that You should perform sacrifices, because when you perform sacrifices, you will be all your sins will get destroyed and you will elevate to higher plans. Then he's saying, all this knowledge that I'm giving you, tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshyanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. So all this knowledge, Arjuna, that I am telling you, you should have accept it with humble mind. Yeah, you should, with like a disciple, कि मैं student हूँ और आप मुझे बताओ. You should inquire humbly, submissively. Other than only you will gain this knowledge. Otherwise, you will not gain this knowledge. Then whoever has faith in this knowledge, they only can progress. Very important point. अगर आप ये knowledge को doubt करोगे तो आपका progress होगा नहीं. This is Krishna is telling. Okay, I am not telling this. So you need to have faith in the scriptures, then only you will progress, otherwise you will not progress. Yeah, so this was chapter 4. Yes, quickly 3 minutes for any questions. Yes, Shreyasi.
Mataji, I have 2 questions. See, if we pray Shiva instead of Krishna, we will not go to Goloka?
You will not go to Goloka, you will go to Shivloka.
Because in my other class before Krishna Kids class on 3 o'clock, they said whatever we pray to any god, that all goes to Krishna.
Bhoktaram Yajna Sapasam, he is the ultimate enjoyer of all the sacrifices. That is true, right? That is true. But so basically, why do we worship demigods? Because ultimately, who is the ultimate beneficiary? Krishna is going to be the Vishnu is going to be the ultimate beneficiary. So that what you have been learned is true. However, if we only worship, if we worship Shiva without the knowledge that Krishna is supreme, then you will go to Shivaloka. But if you worship Shiva as a devotee of Lord Krishna, then you will go to Goloka. Because then you know that who is supreme? Krishna is supreme. And Shiva is also a devotee of Lord Krishna. Okay? Does this answer your question, Shreyasi? Okay, good. Yes, then Anushri had a question. Yes, Anushri. Sorry, I have a bad throat today. Yes.
You told me that people, that demons. Mataji, can you hear me now?
Yes, beta.
Mataji, you told me that demons worship demigods because they want quick results and don't want to be purified. But only devotees of Krishna worship Krishna because, I mean, when you worship to Krishna and ask for something, Krishna first purifies and then gives. So how does he purify?
How does he purify? See, the thing is that through the process of chanting, through the process of devotional service. How would you perform devotional service?
How does he purify the person?
He purifies people. Say, our heart, our desires, all our bad desires will go away, no? So then the propensity to go and eat with the hawkers will go away. Then you would want to eat prasad, right? Those desires, the desires to going for a party, when you have a choice whether you want to go for a party or you want to go to the temple, then you are, because you get purified, you would say, no, let us go to the temple and let us take blessings of Lord. 1st January 2022, you have a choice कि 31st रात को पूरी जागना है और पार्टी करना है, या 1st January early morning you will go and attend Mangal Aarti. So when you purify, right, your intelligence works towards Krishna. Everything works towards Krishna. How does it purify? He says that for purificatory process, you should chant, you should sing my glory, you should study Bhagavad Gita. Right?
Mataji, let's say if a demon worships Krishna, I mean that will never happen, but I'm just giving an example. That if a demon worships Krishna, demon will first chant, then he'll get purified. But how will he know he has to chant?
How will he know he has been?
He has to chant. How will he know he has to chant?
How will he know he has to chant? Because see, everyone has an eternal relationship with Krishna. Okay, so every time when you have a choice to do, your inner soul will tell you कि नहीं, अभी अगर आपको हमको झूठ बोलने का हमेशा आदत है, okay, so like then we are a demon. लेकिन inner mind somewhere it is telling you ये गलत है, ये गलत है, ये गलत है, right? अगर we have a choice to listen to that inner consciousness or we have a choice to ignore it. Now who is telling this? Paramatma is sitting within you. is making you this realization that whatever you're doing, my child, is wrong. So in that, see, with every soul there is a Paramatma. Okay, so जैसे हम बाहर भी जाते हैं, कहीं पे भी जाते हैं, right? Everywhere, with every living entity, there is a Paramatma. So Jiva is there and Paramatma is there. So Lord is there with us all the time. So Lord doesn't leave us because He cares for us. So even in the demon's mind, even with the demon, there is Paramatma sitting. And Paramatma is always trying his child to bring back to, from demon, he wants to bring back him to a nice devotee. So Krishna always works towards it. जैसे हमारे माता पिता हम गलत भी करते हैं, so still they will not leave us, no, कि नहीं जाओ जो करना है करो. They will still try. हम पढ़ाई भी नहीं करते, still they will try. No, बाबा you study. कभी डांटेंगे, कभी प्यार से बोलेंगे, कभी जो भी है, they will try all types of things to ensure that you study nicely, you become a nice person, right? ऐसे नहीं कि छोड़ दिया, चलो जाओ, तुम तो सुनते ही नहीं हो, अब आज से तुम्हारा मेरा संबंध खत्म, जो करना है करो. Right? So same way, demon is also a child of Krishna. Right? So the Paramatma never leaves, neither is it, whether it's a demon, whether it's an ant, whether it's a cockroach, whether it's a mosquito, Paramatma is there with every living entity. So he will give him intelligence. Don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, this is wrong. And sometime it will hit him.
The Paramatma inside a demon gives intelligence to the demon. Why doesn't a demon become a devotee then?
Why does a demon become a
Devotee of Krishna if there's a Paramatma inside?
That we are going to cover today, because adamant behavior. नहीं मुझे यही करना है, मुझे वही खाना है. We are going to cover that in chapter 5. That if you know, why does Krishna not incline us to do good things only? We are going to cover that today. Just park your question. If it doesn't get answered, I will explain you in the end. Okay? Remember, this is park it. Yes, Jesse.
Yes, Mataji, my question is that means like killing mosquitoes, it's a pap, right?
We should not kill mosquitoes. We have a mosquito repellent, right?
Yes,
so we should use this mosquito
color, but still when we apply that, still they come and bite us.
Then we can apply odomus. Something we should do, but as far as possible, we should not kill mosquitoes also. Because in mosquitoes also there is a Paramatma. That also we are going to cover today. So just park your questions. If it doesn't get answered, then I'll try to answer it again. Yeah.
Mosquitoes. So every day we put a mosquito repellent. So is it bad or good?
No, mosquito repellent is required. No, otherwise you will get malaria and dengue and all that. So we also have to serve Lord Krishna. No, so we also have to be healthy. So mosquito repellent to chahiye. Okay. Yeah. So let us start with chapter 5.
माता जी, हरे कृष्ण माता जी.
हाँ यार रोशनी.
यार माता जी, अगर मैं राधिका बोल रही हूँ.
हाँ राधिका, बोलो.
माता जी, जैसे हमारे सर में जुए हो जाते तो उनको भी मारना तो पाप होता है ना?
क्या?
जैसे हमारे सर में जुए हो जाते हैं तो हमें उसे मारना भी पाप होता है ना?
मारना तो नहीं चाहिए, लेकिन अभी क्या ही कर सकते हैं, राइट? सो इफ इट इज हर्टिंग यू, इट इज अफेक्टिंग यू इन अ डिवोशनल सर्विस, then you have to apply it. What can you do? So the thought process should be again bring Krishna in the center. That if I have this lice in my head, so then I will be so much disturbed that I will not be able to do devotional service. So वो तो निकालने तो पड़ेंगे. What can you do? It will disturb me in my chanting. It will disturb me in my sadhana. So you'll have to do it. And then you pray Hare Krishna, you say mantra and say that, it is in a helpless situation. What can I do? That way. Yeah?
Hare Krishna.
Okay. Good question, Radhika. Okay. So let us go to chapter 5. Yes. Okay. So chapter 5 mein it is Karma Yoga, action in Krishna consciousness. अभी अर्जुना is still confused. Okay, कि renunciation मतलब सब कुछ छोड़ देना, ब्रह्म संन्यास लेना अच्छा है, कि भक्त जैसे भगवान का जो भी भगवान बोलेंगे वो करना अच्छा है. So Krishna is telling that devotional service is better. So all that things we will discuss now in chapter 5. So just give me a minute. Yes. Okay. Today's acronym is STEP.
Mataji, I like these acronyms.
You like this acronym? It helps us to remember. I also like it.
Yes, I can. Last chapter was years. The acronym.
Yes. I'm so happy you remember that. Very nice. Very nice. So this time the acronym is STEP. Stay in this world. Abhi stay in this world kaise aa sakta hai, right? Our aim is to go back home, back to Godhead. So how can you stay in this world? So now let us see. Okay. So this verse is 5.1. Arjuna vacha sannyasam karmana krishna punaryogam cha samshashi yashreha itayor ekam tan me bruhi sunishchitam. So Arjuna is telling Krishna that when you talk about renunciation and nishkam karma yoga तो बेस्ट है कि सब कुछ छोड़ के मैं फॉरेस्ट चला जाऊं और then I will happily only live on whatever alms I get, जो भी भिक्षा मिलेगा I will stay there, I will eat that and I will live on that. So that is so easy, but if I fight, then I will be incurring sin. So Krishna, so he is telling that why should I kill the soldiers in an irreligious way? Sin will touch me. Yeah, so then he is saying that Nishkam Karma Yoga is so Nishkam Karma Yoga nahi, renunciation मतलब सब छोड़ छाड़ के संन्यास लेके चले जाना. That is called renunciation. Remember this word because it will be said multiple times during the entire course of this Bhagavad Gita. Yeah, so renunciation मतलब सब छोड़ छाड़ के चले जाना. So he says that ये तो better है कि मैं सब छोड़ छाड़ के चले जाऊं तो एटलीस्ट कुछ पाप तो नहीं लगेगा ना, मैं तो मस्त चला जाऊंगा. I will not be incurring sins by killing soldiers and all, right? So so what happens is generally also in our dealings many sins comes, yeah. So and then we get entangled because of those sins. They say in course of business also we might have to give bribe to someone, right? That is so very natural that we might end up doing that. So might as well leave everything and go. So Krishna says, Arjuna, it is nice thing to get renounced, सब छोड़ छाड़ के जाना अच्छा है, but in that case you will be acting in a irresponsible way. Yeah. So you are in a mood of kshatriya. तुम क्षत्रिय हो. अगर आप क्षत्रिय धर्म छोड़ के, if you just renounce everything, then you will not say, you will go to the forest. If someone don't give you bhiksha, you will just pull out your sword and you will start fighting with him, right? Because you are in a mood of kshatriya. You are not yet purified. Yeah, for your renunciation, you need to get purified. You need to be lover of Supreme Lord Krishna. You should be completely satisfied with yourself. And if you don't do this, then it is like you will only externally you will wear a dress of that you are renounced, but internally that frustration, yeah, कि मुझे ये करना है, मुझे वो करना है, अंदर से हमेशा you will be agitated. Yeah, but externally you will so I'll tell you a nice story. Okay, I just remembered it right now. So there was a king, and the king, he renounced. I will just tell you the name of that king. Let me see if I Shikhadwaja. Okay, so the king Shikhadwaja, he was a king and he renounced everything. Okay, he said कि मुझे घर छोड़ छाड़ के मुझे जाना है. I will just renounce, I will just pray to the Lord, and then I will go to the higher planets. So I will go to Goloka. He just renounced everything, and then he was always very agitated. अंदर से उसको हमेशा he was very disturbed. He was very agitated, and after a few months he is thinking that I am chanting every day, but still I am so agitated. And he meets a sadhu, and he says, "Wow, look at this sadhu. He is so peaceful. He is so calm. He is so absorbed in God. He is so smiling. He is so happy. And look at me. मैं तो कितना दुखी हूँ. हमेशा गुस्सा आता रहता है. हमेशा मैं इतना agitated हूँ." So he goes and talks with the sadhu. He says, I want some advice from you. You look so peaceful. You are so joyful. But look at me. I am so extremely disturbed and all. So then sadhu says, I don't know, sir. Who are you? Can you please tell me who are you? So he said, Arey, you don't know who am I? I am Maharaj Shikhadwaj. He said, Shikhadwaj? But I don't know who is Shikhadwaj. Arey, you don't know who am I? I am ruling this kingdom. I had so many elephants. I had so many horses. मेरा treasury इतना बड़ा था. मैंने इतने सारे kingdoms, I conquered so many kingdoms. I have expanded so far and wide. You know, so and you don't know me. So he's saying that wait. Hold on. Now I know why are you so agitated. Since last half an hour, you are only telling me about who you are. Mera bada kingdom, मैं बड़ा राजा, you know, so many horses, so many elephants. And because you are carrying all this baggage with you in your mind, you are only externally you are wearing a dress of sadhu, but internally you have not renounced. So for internal purification is very, very important. That is what Krishna is telling Arjuna. कि internally बाहर से ठीक है ब्राह्मणा का ड्रेस पहन के चले गए फॉरेस्ट में, that doesn't help बाबा. Internally also you have to be purified, right? So he's saying spirit of renunciation in work, sannyas in karma. That is what Krishna recommends, not renunciation of work. काम छोड़ना नहीं है, okay? काम करना है, but we have to do with sannyas in karma is basically doing things for Lord. Yeah. So he's telling that you should not renounce prematurely. Your heart should get purified, and then when what is meaning by purification of heart? You think only about Krishna. Other than Krishna, no one is there in the world. Yeah, you only want to serve Krishna, offer everything to Krishna, right? So what is our duty? How can we perform Nishkam Karma Yoga, right? So we have to be a good student. We have to get good marks. We have to get good. We have to settle in a good job or business, whatever we do. But at the same time, we should read Bhagavad Gita. We should chant the name of Krishna. We should go to the temple regularly. We should take prasadam. We should associate only with devotees, not with other people who are materialistic. And we should give up sinful activities. Right? इतना easy है करना, difficult तो नहीं है, है ना? पढ़ाई भी करना easy है, ऐसा नहीं है कि पढ़ाई तो करना ही चाहिए, वो तो हमारा काम ही है. उसके साथ भगवद गीता पढ़ना, जैसे आप छोटे छोटे बच्चे इतना अच्छा भगवद गीता पढ़ रहे हो, you chant every day, you offer food to the Lord, bhoga to the Lord, you eat prasad. Yeah. You told you that you should associate only with good people, only with, be very choosy about your friends and give up sinful activities, right? When you do that, then you will be renounced, but in the sense that your heart will become purified. Once your heart becomes purified, then you will go closer to Krishna. हमारे so चेतो दर्पण मार्जनम भव महाद्वावाग्नि निर्वापणम. So basically Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says कि हमारे heart पे इतनी धूल जमा हुई है, like 30 kilometers long. इतनी धूल जमा हुई है हमारे हाथ पे, और ये सारी धूल साफ करनी है. कैसे साफ होगी? Only through the process of chanting, only by reading Bhagavad Gita, only by eating prasad. इतनी सारी millions and millions of lifetimes we had, and so much dust has accumulated. So we have to cleanse all that dust, right? So that is what Krishna. So that is how the so renunciation of work nahi karna hai. Okay. So what should we do? We should spirit of renunciation in work, matlab offer foods to Krishna. Not for sense gratification. Yeah. Then further moving ahead, shloka 5.4 and 5.5. Krishna tells about two types of yoga. Okay, he says Sankhya yoga and Nishkama karma yoga. So he's saying that Sankhya yoga, Jnana yoga, karma sannyas yoga, it all same. It will lead to the same, it is all same. So how will I'll explain you further. Sankhya yoga, Sankhya means counting. Okay, so the Sankhya yoga is what they do. They will take your body and they will analyze. Okay, how many Jnana indriyas I have? Shabda, Sparsha, Rasa, Rupa, Gandha. Okay, so ear, eyes, nose, tongue, and skin. So 5. Then how many karma indriyas I have? Hands, legs, genitals, rectum, and speech. That is karma indriya. How many bhutas I have? Panchama bhuta. So 5. How many subtle elements I have? Mind, intelligence, and false ego. Then sense objects 5. So total 23. Okay, so that is how they will analyze. Okay, Sankhya, they will count and they will analyze. Yeah. Now, finally, all these 23 elements are coming from whom? They are coming from Supreme Lord. That is how they are analyzing now. Okay, so they are originated from the Supreme Lord. Now, the whole material world is made up of all these 24 elements. And who is sitting in this 24 elements? Jivatma is sitting in this 24 elements. Yeah. So it is a driver of the body. Who is sitting in this body? Our Jivatma is sitting in our body. So am I this body? No, I am wearing a dress of this body. Yeah. So I am sitting inside this body. This has to go into your mind that I am sitting inside this body. So this body is like a dress for me. Yeah. And this dress is a temporary dress. Based on my karma, this dress I will keep on changing. आज human body है, कल को पता नहीं कौन सा body मिलेगा. ठीक है, depending upon our karma, we will get, depending upon karma, depending upon our desires, we will get a new body. So I am sitting in this body. I am wearing this dress of human body. Yeah. So now, so karma sannyas. So karma sannyas is not an easy thing to do. Why it is not easy? Because there are so many desires. इतने सारे desires हमारे मन में है कि it is very difficult to do karma sannyas, right? So for example, I like gulab jamun. Okay, I eat 1 gulab jamun. I eat 2 gulab jamuns. I eat 3 gulab jamuns. बड़ा मजा आ रहा है gulab jamun खाने में. दूसरे दिन क्या होगा? मेरा पेट खराब होगा. Because desires, बाप रे, इतने दिनों के बाद मुझे गुलाब जामुन मिला है, मैं गुलाब जामुन खा रही हूँ. या केक मिला है, चॉकलेट वाला केक. मैं चॉकलेट वाला केक खा रही हूँ. अगर मुझे डायबिटीज है, then what will happen? It will harm me. So desires, मुझे चाहिए, मुझे चाहिए, मुझे चाहिए, right? Then another thing could be, you know, man, he likes honey. Okay, वो honeycomb देखता है. Honeycomb देखता है. Now he wants honey. He's seeing that honeycomb. He's putting the hand in the honeycomb to bring out nectar, to drink nectar. What will happen? All the honeybees will come and they will bite him. So other example would be, you know, I want to see mobile, I want to see TV, I want to see rock music because I want to satisfy my senses, right? मुझे देखना है, ये देखना है, वो देखना है. I will spoil my eyes, I will spoil my brain, I will spoil my intelligence, I will become a dumb person, right? So senses will always want us to do wrong things, and it will always land us in problem, right? Similarly, I want to have money. Duryodhana, right? He wanted the entire kingdom. What happened? Ultimately, he had to give up everything. He lost his life also, right? He become greedy. Yeah.
Mataji.
Yeah, 1 second. Just let me complete this concept. Yeah. So basically, because of all these desires, you know, we are always, you know, get stuck or we get caught on the wrong side and we land ourselves in troubles. Now, how to control these desires? Yes, a control करने से नहीं होता है. But when you do devotional service, right? When you pray to Krishna, right? He only helps us to control the desires. ऐसे नहीं कि हम लोग बैठे हैं एकदम कंट्रोल करेंगे, बिल्कुल माइंड को फोकस करना है, ये करना है, वो करना है. ऐसे नहीं होगा. तो धीरे धीरे होगा. जैसे जैसे हमारा प्यूरिफिकेशन होगा, जैसे जैसे हम साधना करेंगे, ऑटोमेटिकली हमारे बुरे जो भी डिजायर्स है, झूठ बोलने के डिजायर्स, गंदे खाने के डिजायर्स, गंदा देखने का डिजायर, राइट, गंदा बोलने का डिजायर, all these desires will automatically go away because our heart is getting purified. Yeah? But you have to do your sadhana. If you don't do your sadhana, if you don't chant, if you don't worship Krishna, you will get stuck and you will always land yourself in problem. Yeah. So for example, right, purification is very important. So Vishwamitra Muni, yeah, story of Vishwamitra Muni. He was, you know, he had a very high ego and he wanted to compete with Vashishta Muni, right? And then he created Sri Shanku Swarga. And then because he competed with Vashishta Muni, again devotee of Krishna, his tapobalam reduced. Then he said, no, let me do severe penance, okay? Then he got attracted to Menaka. And then from then again his tapobalam reduced. And he produced Shakuntala with Menaka. Again he said, "Arey yaar, wapas mera ye sab tapobalam chala gaya. I will now, you know, fully focus on this." Then Ramba comes and Ramba showers Parijat flowers on him. Now he becomes very angry. He said, last time it was Menka, this time it is Ramba. You know, so you are just coming and screwing everything up. He angrily makes, you know, gives a, you know, a shaft to her, and then she makes her a stone. Now, because he made Ramba stone, again his tapobalam reduced. Yeah. So several times this Vishwamitra Muni is you know, defeated because he was not very purified. But he continued. He continued, and after a period of time, he became a very nice devotee of Lord Ram. Yeah. So, so we all have to go through several troubles because of our impure heart, but we have to stick on. Yeah. We have to stick on. And with our sadhana. And over a period of time, definitely our heart will get purified. Yeah.
Mataji,
Then now we saw Sankhya Yoga. Yes, yes, yes.
I have a doubt that Duryodhana went to Goloka because he was killed by Krishna.
No, he went to Brahmajyoti. So now that is, will not go there, but he because he was a sinful person, he was adharmic, he did not go to Goloka. Yeah. So we saw Sankhya Yoga, matlab counting and then eventually understanding that all these material elements are coming from Krishna, and then inside it is a Jivatma sitting there, and Jivatma is the supreme controller. Yeah? Now Nishkam Karma Yoga. Nishkam Karma Yoga, you see here that understanding, having knowledge, and then performing our karmas. Yeah, I am not this body, I am this material soul. I want to render service to Krishna. I want to work in a detached spirit because this world is temporary. My ultimate home is Goloka. I want to go back to Godhead. Now, how can you perform Nishkam Karma Yoga? Right? You see these girls, they are dancing for Krishna. They are doing Bharatnatyam and serving Krishna by dancing. You see this family is so nicely sitting together. They're performing kirtan, they're performing bhajan, yeah, at home. You can also do this, right? New skills you will learn. You will learn to play mridanga. See, Krish is here. Krish plays so lovely mridanga. Krish plays. Then we can play harmonium. Yeah, so many different things you will learn. New skills you will learn, and those skills that you learn, that you can apply it for, progressing in Krishna consciousness, because you are going to play it for Krishna, for the pleasure of Krishna, right? So we have Pranjali here, who beautifully, makes drawings of Krishna. Right? She also performs puppet shows. Now she is serving, pleasing, doing things for Krishna. Yeah. So these boys, these people you see in the left hand corner down, they are distributing books. They are performing service for Krishna. Right. So when you perform service for Krishna, then it is Nishkam Karma. So jo bhi aap karoge, right? Even if you study, say that, I will gain knowledge, whatever I earn, a small portion of it, whatever portion of it I will donate for building a temple, for distributing books, or for distributing prasad, then it becomes Nishkam Karma Yoga. Yeah, like marble shop. He loves his business, he wants to do a business, but is ready to donate some marble for constructing a temple. That is called Nishkam Karma Yoga, right? So in Nishkam Karma Yoga, so another few examples I'll give you. Nishkam Karma Yoga. Okay, so one Mataji was there, she was cooking gulab jams. Okay, so then she used to cook nice gulab jams. She used to feed everyone, and then she used to ask everyone, "Did you like the gulab jam?" Right? So she is attached to the work of making gulab jam, and she's also attached to the fruits of how the gulab jam tasted. But there was another Prabhuji, another example I'll give you, who used to make jalebis. Yeah, he used to make jalebis, used to offer it to, give it to devotees, used to cook and used to go away. So he was ensuring that the quality of jalebis is good, but he was never worried that whether people liked it or not. So they will say, see, this Prabhuji makes so nice jalebis. So he did not want all that appreciation and all, right? He would just make the jalebis, make it nicely, sincerely, dedicatedly, and then he used to go away. So similarly, for us, right, when we go to the temple, we should ask for services, whether there are any services available. Could be cleaning the temple, could be distributing books, could be only chappal handling seva, could be distributing prasad, could be anything. So when you go to temple, you should always look for opportunities where you will serve the devotees, serve Krishna. So then it becomes Nishkam Karma. So what does a Nishkam Karma Yogi, how does he behave? When you ask him, who are you? He says, I am servant of God. What work you do? I do the work that is allocated by God. How do you do the work? I work hard, sincerely, dedication, with best of my ability. And what do you do with your results? I hand it over to God. I hand it over to Krishna, right? So if you see the picture here, there is a gardener here. His gardener is working for his landlord. What is his duty? His duty is to plant the flowers, water the flowers, and whatever flowers comes out, plant the trees for the shrubs for the flowers, water the plants, and then whatever flowers comes out, he has to give it to his landlord. right? So same, but he is doing his work very sincerely. So whatever fruits come, he is not keeping it for us. अरे वाह इतने अच्छे flower आए, मैं ही लेके जाता हूँ सब. He is not doing that. He is giving it to the to his landlord, and he is taking salary for whatever work he is doing. Next example. See this example of a carpenter. This carpenter, somebody is a master is providing him wood to make a table. Now he makes a table. Now he says, "Arre wow, क्या मस्त table बना है. I will keep it for myself." Can he do that? No. He has to give the table and take whatever his remuneration is there. He has to take that money. He cannot take the table for himself, right? So similarly, God has provided us everything. We have to do our part. Considering, so here this person is working for his landlord, this person is working for his master, so that consciousness should always be there within us. Yeah. So what consciousness should be there within us? That this body has been given to me by Krishna. All the abilities like brain, thinking process, mouth, right, eyesight, everything has been given to me by Krishna. कभी भी paralysis हो गया, चला गया सब कुछ, right? पूरा one side लूला पड़ गया, है ना? ऐसा हो गया, क्या करोगे? Right? Ability gone, right? So all these abilities are given to us by Krishna. That consciousness should always be there within us, right? So let me do work only for Krishna, because everything is ultimately given by Krishna. So I should have always that consciousness in my mind. Yeah? So nishkam karne. So doership mentality. मैंने किया, my book, मैंने book लिखा, my project, my intelligence. देखो मैं कितना होशियार हूँ, देखो मैंने ये invention किया, my creation, right? It is called doership mentality. But did I create my brain? Did I create my eyes? Did I create my vocal cord? Right? No. So God has given me this talent. Yeah. So we should always remember our connection with God. So for example, another example, many examples are getting repeated, you might know them, but it is very important to register in those in your brain. Cricketer, there's a cricket match which is going to happen tomorrow. Yeah. And the cricketer, they're just practicing on the ground. Or a cricketer who is the main player, uska pair fracture ho jata hai. Now, can he get his leg cured in overnight? No. So lot of uncertainties are there. So we should not think I did it. Everything happens with the mercy of Krishna. Krishna को sanction करना पड़ता है, थप्पा मारना पड़ता है. Okay, ठीक है, do. Okay, ठीक है, चलो ये करो. Okay, ठीक है, करो. So Krishna is the sanctioner. Yeah, we should never think that I did it. So this doership mentality should never be there. Yeah. अभी आप बोलोगे कि अगर मैं सभी कुछ तो कृष्णा ही करेंगे, so then let him only do everything. Why should I do? So what is the motivation for me? मैं करूँ ही क्यों? सब कुछ वही करने वाले हैं, और मुझे क्रेडिट भी नहीं मिलेगा. इतना मेहनत मैं करूँ, फर्स्ट रैंक लाऊं, अच्छे मार्क्स लाऊं, और सब बोलोगे कि नहीं कृष्णा के मर्जी से हुआ, तो मेरी मेहनत तो गई. सुनो, ये वेस्ट हो गई मेरी तो सारी मेहनत. So we are doing this for purification of our heart. That is the main thing. Because if we say I do it, we are going to fall down. क्या होगा? अहंकार होगा. अहंकार से क्या होगा? We will fall down. So we have to ensure that whatever happens, see, even remembrance. See, when you're writing the paper, recollecting the things that you learned is also important. No, sometimes you will think that, अरे मैं paper लिख रहा हूँ. I don't know. I experienced that. Okay, in my C exam once, what happened is that there was some IT paper, and I was just writing, and I was just thinking, how come I'm writing, and I never studied this also, right? Then I realized that someone was helping me who was writing this paper, right? And sometimes what happens is, even if you modify everything, you learned everything, but you are still not able to write anything. So everything comes from Krishna. Okay, so we have to know that we should not take the credit for everything. Now, what should be the motivation? So it is for purification.
Mataji?
Sorry?
Mataji, you were writing an exam at me right now. So how did you know that you hadn't studied?
How?
Did you know things which you hadn't studied? You gave an example right now, right?
I did not understand a question, beta.
Mataji, I mean, you were writing an exam. So You were writing and writing. You were writing even if you didn't know those things. How did it, even if you didn't study those things? How did that happen?
I also don't know how did that happen, but that happened. So I had that good experience also, and I had one bad experience also. So when when I was giving my FRM exam, I wrote my exam. Okay, I was fully prepared for the exam. Okay, FRM is the Financial Risk Manager exam. Again, US Institute exam. I was fully prepared for the exam, very well prepared. I had written the entire paper very nicely, and I was sure to get very good marks. But you know what? 15 days before the results were announced, I got an email. You know what email I got? That why a disciplinary action should not be taken against you because your paper exactly replicates the paper with the person who is behind you. इसका मतलब वो पीछे वाले बंदे ने पूरा मेरा पेपर कॉपी किया. And who suffered? I suffered. So they did not give my, did not pass me. I was expecting very good marks in that exam. So both things happen. Again, it is because of karma. Maybe I would have done some wrong thing in my previous life. That is why this came to me.
Mataji, I think Krishna.
And I had studied for 6 months. 6 months. So I was married, having small child, kids. And in spite of that, I studied very hard. I was fully prepared for the exam. I was going to, and my paper was also very easy. And because I studied, I knew everything. I was able to solve the paper very nicely. But after that, I did not give my exam because I got so frustrated. But had it been so, I would have been in Krishna consciousness. I would not have got frustrated. Because then I would have known कि ये मेरा पिछला कर्म का कुछ तो लफड़ा है, इसके लिए ऐसे मेरे साथ हुआ. So, but now I understand that maybe I would have done something wrong. That is why this came to me.
Maybe Krishna wanted you to be a teacher.
Whatever Krishna's plan, so Krishna willing. Yeah. Okay. So motivation for work should be purification of heart. Yeah. So then see whatever. So Krishna says that whatever I'm practicing, right? So in the beginning, right, we offer this praise. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnana Anjana Shalakya. So whenever I'm saying something, whatever I'm speaking something, that is only because of mercy of my Guru. And whenever I'm speaking something erratic, or whether I'm there is a shortcoming in my lecture, that is because of my limitation, that I did not study properly, or because of my sadhana not being good, right? So if any shortcomings are there, I should take the onus of that. Yeah, I should take the blame for it. But if any glories are there, I should offer the glories to my Guru. I should offer my glories to Krishna. That should be our mood. Otherwise, ये mood नहीं रहेगा, तो अहंकार होगा. अहंकार होगा तो we will fall down. Okay. So yes. Then what else? Yes. So so then अहंकार कैसे हो सकता है, right? We think that, so another example I will give you. We think that we are indispensable. Indispensable मतलब मेरे बगैर कुछ भी नहीं होगा. Without me, things will not move. Yeah. Even when I go out, then things will not happen at home, right? But Krishna is saying, don't worry, things will still go on. You don't think that you are indispensable. I'll tell you a nice story. You might have heard it in the past. There was a king, who was becoming old. And the ministers and everyone was telling the king, you are really become old, now you can retire. But king was saying, no. If I retire, what will happen to the kingdom? I cannot retire. Everything will go for a toss. So the ministers tell, my dear king, if you can do one thing for 1 week, only for 1 week, you can go and stay in the ashram and see if we can handle things. So he says, okay. So then he disguises himself. He takes a age of a sadhu and he goes and stays in that ashram. Now that the king of the neighboring kingdom, he knows, this king is not there. Let us attack and win over the kingdom. So this king comes to know, that neighboring king is going to attack my kingdom. So he tells his minister, can I come back? He says, no, wait. The son is there. The son is saying that he will be able to manage it. If he is not able to manage, then we will call you. He's saying, he is just 12 years old. But he's saying, Papa, don't worry, you relax. He said that he will lead the war. So don't worry. So he says, okay. Now, this son, he leads the ministers and he goes all through for the war, and then he wins the war. And he not only wins the war, he also takes over the kingdom of the neighboring kingdom. He takes over. So now everyone is very happy. Now they want to make him the king. So then the son is made the king. Now the king says to the minister, now can I come back? My son would need some guidance because he's so small. So the minister says, wait for 1 more week. Let us see how he runs it. Yeah. So, and then the son runs it very nicely. So everyone thinks that, if I am not there, things will not happen. Things cannot happen without me. That ahankar is always there. And that is the impurity in our heart. That impurity needs to be cleansed. Yeah. So so I should not think I am indispensable. Second thing, which you see here on the screen, I am not helping God or others. 2 examples I'll give you. That there's a farmer, okay? This farmer, he says to the God that, I feel so tired, kitna mehnat karna padta hai, kheton mein jana padta hai, kitna kaam rehta hai. So this God says to the farmer, my dear child, who gave you the seed? The farmer says, you, my Lord. Then the God says that, my dear child, who gave you the earth? The farmer says, you, my Lord. Who gave you the rains? You, my Lord. Then God says, who gave the potency in the seeds to become to produce nice fruit and flowers? Farmer says, you, my Lord. Then God says, if I am doing everything, what are you doing? And then he realizes that, as my Lord, I am just putting the seeds under the ground. So he said, and for that you are feeling so tired? 90% of the work I am doing, you are just doing 10% of the work, and I am giving you the full credit of doing the work fully. I'm not taking the credit, and still you are saying you're feeling tired, right? So 90% of the work God is already doing. Whatever the 10% is, that also we don't want to do, right? So God is giving us opportunity in the world to improve ourselves, to cleanse our heart, and go back home, back to Godhead. Yeah. Also, another thing which I will tell you, Krishna tells Arjuna in the 11th chapter that Krishna shows his Vishwarupa Darshan, and he tells that, see this Karna, this Dushashan, this Duryodhan, I've already killed them. You just have to take a bow and arrow, and you just have to become a nimitta and fight. So he shows them that, I have already done your work. You just do this for my pleasure. And he says, if you don't do it, someone else will do it. Right? So, and he's telling, if you do it, I will give you fame. I will give you, the entire kingdom to rule the earth. Right? So many benefits are there. And you just have to work for my pleasure. I have already done the work. And I will give you all the credit to you. You just have to fight. So he's like a non-credit taking Lord. Right? So if you don't do it, someone else will do it. Remember this. Yeah. So you don't have to be attached to the work. Yeah. Okay. Then never get entangled. So doer, non-doer, you saw, right? Yes. So Shloka 8 and 9. Yeah. So a person who is in divine consciousness, although engaged in seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, eating, moving about, breathing and sleeping, always knows in himself that he actually does nothing. That is person in consciousness. Everything Krishna is doing for me. So for example, yeah, if you see a pen, I'm giving you too many examples to explain you the concept. Okay, you remember this. And if you think that, you want to revise it again, you can hear the lecture again. Yeah. So this pen, right? If you have a pen, but if it has no ink, will you be able to write? No, you will not be able to write, right? So everything is given by Krishna. Now, moving one step ahead. Now we are deep diving, okay? We are going further deep down. I'm giving you another example. Now, this is not example of that, but now we are part and parcels of Krishna that we are going to see in this concept, okay? So now I'm coming to your house and I'm knocking the door. You are opening the door, right? So we will take as Ram, okay? Ram opens the door. I can also say Ram's right hand opened the door. I can also say Ram's right hand thumb and index finger, they opened the door, right? So But generally, what will I say? Ram opened the door, right? So right hand, listen very carefully, very important concept. So right hand is the part and parcel of Ram, right? So these two fingers are part and parcel of Ram's body. Similarly, if part, understand very carefully, very important concept. So if part does some work, okay, it is not wrong to say that whole has done the work, right? Because our connection is with Krishna, we cannot act independently. We are dependent on him. So if Krishna is not there, soul is also not there, and none of us will be there. Right? We are dependent on him. We are not independent. We are dependent, but he is independent. Okay. Any question on this point? Yes, yes.
Mataji, you told that Krishna is independent, right? Mataji,
Yes, yes, tell me.
you told that Krishna is independent, right?
Yes.
So why he is asking us to chant, and means why we are servant of him if he is independent?
I will cover that. Okay, just park your question. We should have an attitude of serving Krishna, but just park your question till the end. Okay, then you will know what mood of Krishna is also. I am going to cover that. Okay, if you forget, you can just write down this so that you will not forget. But you will know what is the mood of Krishna when he interacts with us. Okay. Now we will move ahead. Yeah. So is God dependent for us for his activities? No. Now let us see example of Bill Gates. Okay, Bill Gates, he decides to come to India, and he builds a nice star hotel. Yeah, he is employing 1,000 workers in his hotel. And after a period of 1 year, he decides कि मजा नहीं आ रहा है, बंद कर देते हैं. Okay, so he decides to shut down his hotel. Now he decides to shut down this hotel. Does it affect him? No. It affects who? It affects his employees. Why? Because his employees are dependent on him. Okay. So because employee dependent on salary, employees dependent on food, right? Whatever is being offered to them. So they will stop getting their salary, right? So similarly, जब Bill Gates he decides नहीं अभी होटल बंद करना है, मुझे Microsoft की कंपनी खोलना है इंडिया में, मुझे नहीं करना, right? So similarly, God is independent. He is Swarat. Okay. So and we are part and parcels of God. Yeah. Okay, so how should, in this verse, chapter 5, verse 10, yeah, how should we work? We should work like a lotus leaf on the drop of water. The drop of water does not touch the lotus leaf. So this is Nishkam Karma Yoga. This is how we should behave. Yeah. So this example we will skip. Yes. Okay. I'll cover this example. So this is how we should behave. But whatever facilities Krishna provides us, we generally misuse those facilities. So for example, a father had 2 sons. Okay, one son was a doctor, another son was an engineer. This doctor's son, he got graduated, he opened a clinic, and his father was very happy. But the other son, he took his money for education. He became an engineer, but he was just smoking, drinking, roaming with girls, partying. And his father was very unhappy, right? Similarly, so Krishna is like our father. He provides all the facilities. So his father gave money for education for the first son as well as the second son. But would we want to become like first son or second son, right? So bad son, they will only misuse the facilities, right? So Nishkama Karma Yoga mein, if we are doing all the things for our sense gratification, right? When I'm cooking food for myself, मुझे खाना है cake, मैं pastry बनाऊंगी, मैं pastry लाऊंगा, मैं खाऊंगा. But if I'm thinking, no, let me, so many days has happened, I have not fed the nice sweets to Krishna, let me bring pastry for Krishna and then I will eat it as Krishna. That is Nishkama Karma Yoga. But if you want to eat for myself, then we are misusing the facilities that are given to us. then we become a bad son, like the second son. Is
Mataji, whenever my mother makes any sweet thing, like today she is making gajar ka halwa, any sweet thing, she like unniyappam or something, she always gives it
Yes.
to God first for 5 minutes, and then after that we all eat it as prasad.
Very nice, very nice. So, Anusha, you can also cook for Krishna. You should not think कि मैं अभी इतनी छोटी हूँ मैं बाद में करूँगी. Small things you yourself can do for Krishna.
Mataji,
Sandwiches,
actually I like cooking. I take it as a hobby.
you should have Krishna in the center and then you should cook. Very nice.
Mataji, even I can prepare Shira.
Nice. So every week, once in a week, you should make Shira and offer it to Krishna.
But
But learn new things and offer it to Krishna. Okay.
Mataji,
So
if we
So for
cook
this-
something and we forgot to add salt or anything, and we still offer it to Krishna without tasting it, still Krishna likes it.
Krishna only sees our mood. Krishna sees whether Mama Shreyasi has just, for the sake of doing it, she has kept in front of me, or she said, no, Krishna, you eat this nicely. See if you like me, like it. And then,
Mataji,
like Mother Yashoda feeds Krishna, that is how our mood should be there when we feed Krishna. Mother Yashoda kitne प्यार से खिलाती है.
Mataji, if you keep a food in front of Krishna, like 2 laddus, then when you come back after 5 minutes, you see 2 laddus. How does Krishna eat it then? If you keep 2 laddus in front of Krishna, then you come back after 5 minutes, you say Krishna has eaten those 2 laddus, but I can't see they are missing there.
Because Krishna he eats it and he keeps it back for you.
What?
So that you can, Krishna eats it and keeps it back for you. So that you can get his blessings.
If he eats it, then how does he keep it back?
He is Krishna, he can do anything.
Means first he puts it in his tummy and then again takes out it.
He will
Eats
not be able
it
to
with
see
his
it.
eyes.
So Krishna can do anything with whatever organs. So जैसे हम अपने मुंह से ही खाते हैं, ऐसा कृष्णा नहीं करता.
Yes,
Krishna
he eats with his eyes.
And then he bestows his mercy on you on the food. Okay, so let us move ahead. So everything that we do, we have to do it very intelligently. Because I'll give you a nice example, one more story. Okay, so once a boy asked Srila Prabhupada, I think God has created tobacco because he wants us to smoke. So Prabhupada said, God has created Dhatura plant also. Why don't you take the poison and eat it? If I eat it, I will die. No. Prabhupada said, yes, God had created both good and bad. And he wants us to use our discrimination so that we choose good and leave bad. So because we are humans, that is why we can study Bhagavad Gita, we can chant.
Mataji, Mataji,
Yes, Swara?
Mataji. So Mataji, just like you said right now, so I have like an example for this. So, Mataji, scientists have like done like a test on children that how much can they resist. So they said that we have kept 50 marshmallows here and 1 marshmallow here.
You have to be little loud, Swara. I can't
So
hear you.
we will tell you what will happen if you eat the 50 marshmallows. Mataji, can you hear me?
Yeah, be little loud. Continue.
Yeah. So the scientists said that we will tell you what will happen if you eat the 50 marshmallows, and we will tell you what will happen if you eat only 1 marshmallow. So they said that how the child will get diabetes and they will never be cured from it. The children scared. So now the 50 marshmallows was the bad thing, but the 1 marshmallow was a good thing. So the scientists put both the good and bad thing to see to make sure that the children can like discriminate properly.
Good example, Swara. So that is why we should always use our discrimination and identify what is good and do only that will please Krishna. That is how you will do Nishkam Karma Yoga. Okay. Then, yes. Then yogis abandoning attachment act with body, mind, intelligence, and even with senses only for the purpose of purification. Yeah. So now Krishna will explain how pure soul is the doer. He is a doer, but yet a non-doer. Okay, knowing that one which can be detached, understand the supreme and attain liberation. So we will see this example. Okay, this is King of Gaya. He ruled the entire world so nicely. Now, even if he was a king, he ensured that he gave full protection and security to his citizens. He gave sufficient food to feed his citizens. He ensured he distributed books, gifts to satisfy them. He used to call for meetings and satisfy the citizens with sweet words. He used to give them instructions to become first-class citizens. Yeah. So these are the characteristics of a king. Okay, so in spite of being a king, he did not have ahankar that I am the king. He performed all his responsibilities as a king. Yeah. Now, along him being a king, he performed sacrifices and was a pure devotee of Supreme Lord. He was not at all proud that he is ruling the entire world. That is how our mood should be. So even a king can live in a detached manner, right? He can still live in a renounced manner by becoming a devotee of Krishna. Another few examples we'll see, right? Maharaj Pratap Rudra. Maharaj Pratap Rudra, he used to sweep the road in front of Lord Jagannath during Rath Yatra. He did not feel ashamed, "Arey, main to Raja hu, sweep kaise karu?" Right? So these are all saintly kings, right? So Chanakya and who is this? Chandragupta. Yeah. So Shivaji Maharaj and who is he? Yeah, so Shivaji Maharaj and so all this Maharaj, his guru, they are all they are advised. They take guidance from Brahmanas. Yeah. So even in a householder life or even in king life, you can still behave in a Krishna conscious manner. Okay, so you can still live a life of detachment. जिस अहंकार आ गया तो अहंकार से आपका सर्वनाश होगा. Right? Duryodhan had a choice to take advice from Brahmanas. He had choice to take advice from his seniors, but he did not take. And what happened? He was unsuccessful in his life. All these kings, they are called Raj Rishis. They were successful in their life. Yeah? Now, 3 doers, Bhakti, we are still a lot of things to cover up. So these Raj Rishis, because they were Raj Rishis, they used to construct big temples, they used to encourage people to take up devotional service, they used to encourage yajnas, they used to do sacrifices, and that is why the people that point in time were happy. Yeah, so now 3 doers. Who are the 3 doers? Yeah, so 3 doers is our soul, who is the initiator, material nature, Durga Mata, who is the facilitator, and Lord, who is the sanctioner. Okay, so let us see how does this work. Yeah, so now Jivatma, that is we desire to do something. Yeah, when we desire to do something, super soul, who is Paramatma, who is Krishna, okay, he sees that who is always there with us. Okay, he understands, we want to eat a chocolate. Okay, so understands he wants to eat a chocolate. He sanctions, he looks at Maya Devi, he looks at Durga Devi, he says, okay, give him a chocolate. Right? So for example, when some guests come to our house, the man of the house is sitting in the hall, 4 or 5 guests comes, he looks at his wife, and wife goes into the kitchen, and accordingly, she brings tea, coffee, whatever husband has told her, right? Similarly, Maya Devi waits for the order of Krishna, and she does whatever super soul tells us. So Krishna is the super soul. Understand this? When I say super soul, it is Paramatma. Yeah. So you see the Jiva, he desires, and this is Durga Devi, Maya, who sanctions whatever the super based on the order of the super soul. Yeah. So who is the doer? Yeah. So three things that we are saying, right? Yeah. Here. So
Mataji,
this is role of the soul is our initiator, super soul is the sanctioner, and material nature Durga, it facilitates what we want. Yes.
Mataji means like yes. So we are like puppets.
Again, hold on your point. So we are not really puppets. So
because
we are not really puppets. I'll tell you what. So take an example of a boy who wants to smoke cigarette. Okay, so the Jivatma has a desire to smoke a cigarette. Now Jivatma, then Paramatma sees that this boy is a very nasty boy. He wants to smoke cigarette. He tells Durga Devi, okay, sanction him a cigarette. Durga Devi, based on his desire, she facilitates, she gives him a cigarette, right? With this, what happens? He gets forgetfulness, right? So when we are adamant, right, one who is very adamant so that he wants to smoke is not going to listen, that time Krishna sanctions it. Right? And then what happens? Then we get the repercussions, that we get forgetfulness, we fall in the material pool, we are not able to progress, we are unhappy, we are sad, we get a lot of sufferings, right? So puppets, yes, to an extent, but we always have a choice. Remember, we always have a choice to select between good and bad. That discrimination we have to apply, and that choice, to exercise the right choice, will come only out of sadhana, okay, only out of chanting, right? So so Paramatma, he gives us so someone had asked question, right? Paramatma should only provide us good things. Why is he providing us bad things, right? So for example, I'll give you this example, right? You can see this boy this boy, he wanted to eat gems. Okay, his mother, he gives him gems. First time he's eating gems in his life. Yeah, this man, he he asked him, this boy asked, where did these gems come from? He said, then this mother shows her the packet. Give me the packet. And the boy finishes the entire packet, or the entire Cadbury he finishes, right? Now, sometimes we adamantly ask for things which are not good for us. And when we realize, after losing our teeth, then we come to our senses, right? So similarly, we adamantly ask Krishna for the things which are not good for us. And Krishna, reluctantly, he gives it to us based on our karma, based on our desires. He will give it to you. But then what will happen is, when we will learn, the lessons of life are very difficult to learn. It is better to follow the scriptures and follow what is.
I think my question is answered, what I asked in the beginning.
Hold on, all your questions will get answered. It is not answered, I will answer it. Okay?
Mataji, my question got already answered right now.
Okay, good. Very nice. Yeah. Now we think that we are the controller, right? So okay, so this we saw Jiva, we saw tripod, right? Jiva desires, supercell sanctions, and material nature she provides. Yeah. Then this Muhammad Ali. This Muhammad Ali was a heavyweight boxing champion. Okay, see, and he used to think, I am the greatest, I am the champion. And then after some time, he got this Parkinson disease. मतलब वैसे हाथ हिलता है ना, you are not able to hold anything. So he was not even able to hold a cup of coffee, right? So to an extent, so now everything, so we think everything is in our control, but things are not in our control. Everything is in control of Krishna, right? After some days, eyes becomes blurred. When we become old, we are not able to see. Hair starts graying, right? We are not able to listen, right? So, but still the jivas think, I am in the control. मैं कर सकता हूँ, मैंने किया, right? But we are not in control. So here, same thing. I will work 18 hours a day and finish my work. What will happen? Stress will come. We will become under a lot of stress. Eventually lead to suicide. Eventually, we will become under a completely stressful situation. Hitler, he killed so many people, and eventually he himself committed suicide. Right? Now, equal vision. This is very important. Yeah? So, equal vision is that we see everyone. Yeah. So, Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Kavi Hastini Sunichaiva Swapakecha Panditaha Samadarshinaha. That a self-realized soul will always see everyone at the same level, right? So you see here, the Pandit, who is the Pandit here, he will see that this soul is wearing elephant dress. This soul is wearing a cow dress. This soul is wearing a dog dress. This soul is wearing a chandala dress, right? So he will see everyone as soul. That today we are wearing this. I'm wearing a woman dress, right? So he will see everyone as wearing a different types of dresses. Yeah. Now, when we see this, when we see this, so I will just now let us extrapolate this further. Okay, so this should be our vision. So this, when we understand this, when we start seeing it, then we are Pandita. Then we are seeing that, this, he is a soul, he is not this body, he is a soul, and he is part and parcel of Krishna. When we get this knowledge, then we are, then we get elevated to, we get closer to Krishna, right? I'll give you a very nice example, okay? There's a big truck with 24 wheels, it is going on the road. And now the driver is driving that big truck. And there's a small boy who's driving a Luna on the same road. Now, can the big truck think, anyways, you are a very small Luna, I can just hit you? No, the driver cannot think it, because in the Luna also there is a living boy who is sitting, who is similar to the driver in the truck, right? So both of them are similar. So when we understand this, so when we look at a dog, when we look at a cat, when we look at a mosquito whom we are going to kill, when we look at a cockroach, when we look at the lice in our head, we understand that, no, this is the same as me, Baba. This is the same part and parcel of God, right? So Panditaha Samadarshina. Another nice example I'll give you. Yeah. So you see a boy and a father walking here, right? So a boy and a father are walking, yeah, and one person comes and give a tight slap on the boy. Right? Will the father listen? Will the father be okay with it, that he is giving a tight slap to his son? Right? So similarly, we are the small boy, and Paramatma is always there with us. Yeah. So if someone comes and does wrong karma, the father is not going to leave the person who is hurting that, right? So Krishna is our father. He is a super soul, and we are always accompanied by Paramatma. We are always accompanied by Krishna. Okay. So yes.
Mataji,
Yeah. What is the time?
I have a doubt.
Yes, beta.
If someone wishes bad for us, does Krishna listen to them?
See, if someone wishes bad for us, no, it will not affect us if we are chanting. Because when we chant, when we say prayers every day, when we sing Narsimha prayers every day, it becomes like a kavach, pata hai na aapko? It becomes like a halo around us. So we don't get directly affected by it. It becomes like a protection for us. And that is why we should chant it.
Okay.
But if we don't do that, we might get affected.
Okay, Mataji.
So Krishna says, so Arjuna says, even if one knows that sense enjoyment brings us distress, right? The urges, so he says that urges of our senses ki mujhe kuch khana hai, mujhe yahan pe jana hai, they are so strong. How should we control that? Yeah? What should we do with that? So Krishna is telling, learn to tolerate. Tolerate all the agitations. गुस्सा आता है, बहुत गुस्सा आता है, तो पंच मारने का इच्छा होता है. Krishna is saying, learn to tolerate. जहाँ पंच मारना है वहां पे मारना ही पड़ेगा, रिटेलिएट करना ही पड़ेगा. ऐसे नहीं कि एक गाल पे मारो तो दूसरा गाल सामने करो, ऐसा नहीं करना है. But many times, with our elders, we are not able to, go along well. So many times we have to learn to tolerate for our peaceful sadhana or for our peaceful journey. Yeah. So I'll skip this. We'll go here. Yeah. So Bhoktaram Yadna Tapasam Sarva Loka Maheshwaram. Before that, we will see this. Okay. So Krishna is telling here is that Krishna. So if you can do meditation, okay, meditation, fully focusing on mind, ekdam bilkul Ashtanga yoga, right? क्या कहते हैं उसको? Sitting cross-legged properly in asana and then meditating. So Ashtanga yoga, Krishna is saying that devotional service is much better way to control our senses than Ashtanga yoga. Yeah. So now he's saying that. Now that was shloka. Which was that shloka? Shloka 5.27-28. Now we go to last shloka 5.29. Bhoktaram yadapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram surudam sarvabhutanam natma mam shantim rajjati. So Krishna is saying that now he is explaining what is the difference between Ashtanga yoga and Krishna Bhakti. See, in Ashtanga yoga also, even if you do Ashtanga yoga, even if you sit in meditation in a meditation posture, but still you will fall down because desires will keep on coming. But in devotional service, when you do, your heart will be cleansed and you will not be, and you will purify yourself and you will go closer to Krishna. So he is saying devotional service is much better than Ashtanga Yoga. Okay. So, yeah, so it is like, you have a glass of water, muddy water, after some time the mud in the water is settled down. But if you put a spoon in it, again it will come up. So the desires will always keep on coming up, right? So to control this desire, devotional service is the best thing way to control the desires. Yeah. Now here Krishna is saying that in this shloka, Krishna is saying, oh, okay, I'm so sorry. In this shloka, Krishna is saying that he is the supreme enjoyer of all the sacrifices. He is the Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. He is the supreme controller of all the lokas, right? So he is the proprietor of everything, right? So Hiranyakashipu wanted to be, Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. He wanted to control everything. But eventually what happened? Hiranyakashipu fell down. Bali Maharaj wanted to be Triloka Adipati. But ultimately what happened? He also, Krishna came and taught him a good lesson. That you see this mouse, small mouse, rat, yeah, it is making a hole in the house and it is inviting all his friends, come, see my house, come see my house, right? So is this his house? No, it is not his house. Ultimately, it is the house of, eventually it is the house of Krishna, right? Considering the whole universe belongs to Krishna. Right? But we all think it should. So if I have a nice plot, nice house on that plot of nice flat, it will say my flat, my house, right? But eventually, it is all part of Krishna's property. It is not ours. It is part of Krishna's property. For example, another example I'll give you. There is an ant, okay? Ant, you see, there is an ant who is carrying a small ant cube, right? It is picking up the ant cube, and one ant is taking one cube. Okay, it is going in the line. The leader of the ant is saying, "Oh, come on, do fast, come on, fast. We are getting late." And one big boy comes and he throws water on the on the floor, and all the ants, the leader of the ants, everyone starts floating in it. So who is the ultimate controller? Yeah, Krishna is the ultimate controller, right? So you see here, over and above ant, who is there? So Devatas, right? Tsunami came, right? So tsunamis, even humans are not controller. Devatas are controller about these, right? So who is the ultimate controller? Krishna is the ultimate controller. Here, so this is the question someone asked, okay? So even if Krishna is the ultimate controller, even if he is ultimate enjoyer, he likes to serve his devotees, right? So for example, you see he is washing the feet of, who is his friend? Sudama. Even in the Rajasuya Yag, which happened, everyone was engaged in some or the other service, okay? So Yudhishthira, this one, Dushashan was engaged in distributing food. Arjuna was engaged in receiving all the rishis and rishi munis and everyone. Bhishma was presiding over the entire yajna. The different people were engaged in different services. But what was Krishna doing that point in time? Listen very carefully. Krishna was standing at the gate and he was washing feet of all the saintly people. Okay, so Krishna likes to be loved and Krishna likes to serve his devotees, right? So he takes humble position. He doesn't say, I am God. He is a very reciprocating God. He is a very lovable God. So someone said that, Krishna wants us to be servant of the God. See, our mood should be that we should be servant. But Krishna loves his devotees, right? Who would wash feet of his friend, right? He is the Supreme Lord. Why would he want to wash feet of his friend? Right? Even if he is proprietor, right? So even when Krishna killed this Ravana, he made Vibhishan the king. He did not say, now I will take the kingdom. When Krishna kills Vali, he made Sugriv the king. He did not say, let me, rule the kingdom. When he came in form of Narsimha, he made Prahlad Maharaj the king. Kurukshetra was, he made Yudhishthira the king, right? So similarly, why would one want to become a charioteer of of his devotee, of a person, right? So why would someone want to be bounded by some lady, right? So that is how Krishna loves to be loved, and he wants to serve his devotees. He doesn't mind to serve his devotees, right? So he is a very reciprocating God. He is a very non-credit taking God. He is very lovable God. Yeah, beta.
When will the class will over?
In another 2 minutes. It's almost over. We are on the last slide. Yeah. So Bhokta Ram Yajna Tapasam. Krishna is ultimate beneficiary of all the sacrifices. Sarva Loka Maheshwaram. Krishna is the supreme lord of all the planets and demigods. Surdham Sarva Bhutanam. Krishna is the benefactor and well-wisher of all the living entities. Natma Mam Shanti Vrachati. One who understands this attains peace from pangs of material miseries and goes back to Godhead. Yeah? So we saw stay in the world. How should we stay in the world? By doing Nishkam Karma Yoga. 3 doers we saw. Jivatma, who is desiring of doing things. Super soul who sanctions what Jivatma wants, and Maya Devi, Durga Devi, who facilitates what the desires of the devotee, desire of the Jivatma. Equal vision, Pandita Samadarshina. We see everyone as soul. We do not see everyone. We see everyone as children of God. And peace formula, we saw that even if Krishna is a supreme controller, even if the supreme enjoyer, he loves to be loved, and he takes humble position by giving us the proprietorship, giving us the credit of whatever we do. Yeah. So this was the
Mataji, my doubt.
yes, your doubt.
My doubt got cleared, but another doubt came up in my mind. Yes. So, like Krishna washed the feet of, means he washed the feet of everyone. So when we enter Goloka, so Krishna is standing at the door that everyone, and that when we enter the Goloka, so he washes his feet.
Not wash our feet. See, our mood should be so understand the message from this pastime. You have to understand the message from this pastime. What is the message? That Krishna is ready to take humble position. He is not claiming that I am God. मैं तो बाजू में बैठूंगा. मैं क्यों आऊँ राजा जैसे मैं बैठूंगा. मैं क्यों? I'm the Lord of the entire universe. So the message from this pastime is that Krishna is ready to take humble position.
Means when we go to Goloka, what do we see first?
But when we go to Goloka, just be with Krishna. Just be. You can make beautiful garlands for Krishna. You can cook nicely for Krishna. You can, whatever. You can make beautiful ornaments for Krishna. And you can be part of his pastimes. You can go around, play with him. Do whatever he likes.
Means when the next pastime will be there, or means...
And next pastime is that he will take you along. If your desire is there that you want to go with him to perform his pastime, he'll take all these Krishna kids who are there. He will take them along.
And then in the books, it will be all the Krishna kids will come in the books.
Will be gopis and gopas. All these Krishna kids will be there in the pastimes. Okay? Okay, chalo, good. I think if you have any queries.
Mataji, when he destructs the earth, when he takes
Annihilation.
Yes.
Yes, when annihilation happens, then what?
Means when he does destruction of earth.
He does destruction of it based on his own will. When he inhales, the annihilation happens. When he exhales, all the new universes are created. We are going to cover that. When we are going to cover that topic, creation of universe, we'll have a separate series of creation of universe.
Means when
I will have to rush, beta. I have another class now. You can just send me your query and I will reply back on a voice email, or I'll call you. You can send me a voice message of your query.
Mataji,
Okay?
I guess she is asking about Kalki.
You're asking for about Kalki? When this earth will get destructed? Many years are there. 4,50,000, 4,95,000. Don't worry.
means
Lot of time
once in Kali, means once all the yugas get over, and at the beginning of new yugas, he destruct the earth.
Yes, annihilation will happen. Yes. When new yuga has to start, annihilation will happen.
Means like human life will end forever.
And again, new people will take birth. No? The same jivas will get a new body.
Like
I will explain that entire. It is a big series of a big thing. I will explain the entire thing. You can send me a voice message. I will reply back to you, beta. Okay.
like see